Hello guys, it is that Panda guy. I'm here again with another video, and today we're gonna be looking at some more Dark Seal. But I do want to start off this video and just say I am sorry. I feel like I usually have a lot of energy, or I used to have a lot of energy in these videos. And if you've been listening lately, I have been a little bit less energetic. And this is, you'll see this kind of my lack of uploads as well as just my overall demeanor. And I do, I don't want to make this video all about myself, and I don't like making my videos all about myself. But I did want to just let you guys know. I feel better. I was just feeling down in the dumps and stuff, and I needed some time to myself, and I feel a little bit better in spirits, and hopefully, I'll just be that way, and I can make some good videos. So I do appreciate you guys, though. I really do appreciate the community we built, and yeah, let's hop right into it. So this Dark Seal, we were kind of I wasn't really very active. I'm gonna be honest, so I lacked a lot of footage, but I this is like the only video I'll be posting for this one. But I was hitting some bases. I was basically doing this little tactic because we were fighting some whales from RPG who kept, just porting down on us, and there were too many. I'm not gonna 1v3 or 1v4 people in the field, right? Especially when they're porting down. It's like these crazy whales. So I go for easy picks. What I would do is I would swarm a base and I would recall one of my marches over and over and over, and I would keep attacking the base and then recall that march, and attack the base and recall that march, because they would keep focusing a certain march. And, it was a little bit annoying, but it was like a game of cat and mouse, and we were just spreading them around because there were too many bases and they couldn't defend them all, obviously. So we took advantage of that. There was even this one instance where there was this one player who I think was like over 100 million, and we wanted to get a crazy swarm in because he had like 4 million troops, and we wanted to pop that base. But they were camping him. They were camping him out, and I had to wait for one of our players to actually get swarmed. And then we ported down, ganked him real quick, and then we dipped. It was like I was like a watchdog, it felt like. And dude, the amount of freaking heals I had to go through just swarming these bases is insane. I really should have been playing a little bit less reckless, but I was just feeling like it this time around. I was, like I said, I was just feeling it. I was just feeling like it. And I wasn't feeling like coming online for like the rest of the day. So I just, did my thing here so I could pop in and out. But you see it here, you see me constantly recalling these marches, and it's really probably taking them off. And I still just want to get these burns off. But these marches are still getting melted, and I get a freaking massive hospital bill, and it is low key or high key painful. That being said, we got some pretty good swarms. I don't think this Dark Seal was very eventful. We didn't really do a big fight for whatever freaking Metro. I'm thinking of Ruins for some reason, because Island Raid just feels more notable to me, right? The middle of the map. But we didn't do like a big fight for Metro. We did have like one instance where we rallied and tried to take field control. We didn't end up getting Metro, so we just backed off. It was around the end of the event, but we didn't really like fight for it at reset or anything. I think we just kind of chased for some kills, and we just chillax. And I feel like that was the general demeanor of the region, right? Like a majority of players just didn't care about participating or didn't care about putting their all into this event, because it's starting to feel mediocre. It's just like, is it worth the energy? All the energy we're putting in, like, is it honestly worth it? And I mean, at the same time, I still feel like participating, but it's like some aspects where it's, I go in for my kills, I go in for some pretty good clips and stuff, or some footage, I guess, and then I'm just out, because I'm not gonna go field fighting for an hour or something like I would in Island Raid. It's not as worth it to me. Fighting for Metro doesn't feel worth it. I mean, even if you're able to get good trades, even if you're able to take Metro, I mean, it's worth it in that sense. But it's also like, should I really go through the effort of doing it if it's like a hassle, right? Because, I don't think like the rewards for winning or losing Dark Seal even matter that much. I don't, maybe the only thing that maybe matters is like alliance placement, as well as, what is it? Solo placements, just because of the actual armament gifts. But besides that, there's nothing really. And I'm sorry if you guys heard my chair creaking. I'm sitting in a little rolly chair. These rallies, by the way, were much worse than I expected. I don't know how Bay hits so hard. Like, his gear it's purple and gold, so I don't get how he hits like a freaking truck with these rallies. He does this every time on towers. He does it on bases. I never understand it. Maybe he's just built different, because some people just hit different, and it's like, how? Like, your gear shouldn't be built to the level where it's like you feel like you're just, I don't even know. This dude feels godly with some of his hits sometimes, even on like Mantra, right? Because that dude was like almost 140 million, and those rally trades were much worse than I thought, and he melted way faster than I thought, and I actually don't understand why that was. I don't know if it showed it yet, but I should be getting Swarm soon if it hasn't shown it. And guys, let me tell you, the Swarm trades were absolutely insane on Pandy, because like you would have a lot of people who weren't the mega whales of RPG swarming, and the issue is, they're either not running troop expansions, or even if they are, they're just overall not strong enough to take really good trades, be it their heroes or just their overall gear. And the trades were very favorable, and I think if it hasn't shown yet, you will see it soon, and you're gonna be like, wowza, right? Because it was disgusting. It was kind of disgusting. And I don't know how I traded how I did, because that was, I don't know, you're gonna understand what I mean, because I had like a lot of marches, and I actually had my I had gotten march capped on. And like I said, it was probably due to like troop expansions and all that. Also, this is the guy I was referring to that I had to play watch duty on, and it won't look like it because I'll be swarming him in a second again, but I had to wait like an hour or so, and we had to kind of force them to port over to another target. We started swarming, and then we came back to this guy after, kind of watching and waiting for them to, get off him. And we did manage to get the burn here. We got, dude, I don't know how, because we were just waiting, okay? We were waiting, and it was a task, man. It was a freaking task, but it's one of those things that's fun, just the waiting game. Kind of annoying for the enemy, because I can go eat some popcorn, I can chillax, but they gotta sit there and they gotta protect this guy, because he probably didn't listen. He probably didn't port out of the zone, that, or he just wasn't active, or I don't know why he was still here, just unshielded and unsupervised. But I mean, stuff does happen, to be fair. People do pass out, people do have work, so obviously, sometimes things happen, and you just slip up and you get smacked like that. It's unavoidable. Like, it's happened to me. Although in my case, we didn't have territory protection, so it wasn't as favorable, and that was an island raid. Also, now you're going to see the swarm here. You see how many marches? The thing is, there is a march cap, so all these marches aren't going to be hitting me, obviously. If that was the case, I probably would have burned much sooner, and the trades would have been much more deadly. Before they actually added this march cap on bases, for anybody who doesn't know me from like my OGer days, I would swarm with like 50 marches on a base, and it would be really disgusting to, actually take on my swarms, because it's just like you had too many marches. And it would be the same for, like, imagine even if you're like 200 million, right? You get a whole alliance of T6 players, you can't even trade. I don't think you'd be able to trade positive if you have a whole alliance of T6 players just completely swarming your base. But you'll see the trades here in a minute. I will say Tree here trades much worse, although it has much more troops and it is stronger as an account overall. And the thing is, Bay and like some of the stronger whales actually swarmed Tree, which made zero sense to me that they waited to swarm like Meal and Pandy, but then they decided to swarm Tree, and I don't know if they'd swarm Pandy and then they had the rest actually coming in behind them, this would have been much more favorable. But you see here, one, no troop expansions, and I mean, that's honestly a big case, right? Because I feel like that's the same with like towers in a whale alliance. If you're gonna be going for swarms on a whale alliance's tower, you really need those troop expansions. And even in some cases, not even a whale alliance, right? Those 300k or so troops can be so valuable in comparison to, you actually sending 200k troops. That'll make your trades just significantly better. And yeah, you see here, this was kind of disgusting. Even like non T6 players hitting, right? Like, this is a T5 player from my knowledge. Oh my gosh, man. Like, I don't know why some of these people just decided to take the walk of death. It's like walking off the plank on a pirate ship, except this one was voluntarily. You weren't even being held at like held. I can't call it gunpoint. You were like held by the sword, right? Because the pirates gotta inch you off with their sword. They're like, hop off the plank, buddy. And yeah, I mean, you kind of see here. This looks like a 25% expansion, but man, I don't know. Like, still, and even the heroes, I don't think he has like, Lee and Alex. I mean, is that good for base swarms? I mean, I guess for the buffer, like, we're using Alex to buff all the other marches, but even then, like, I don't know if he, you're strong enough to actually be kind of running a duo like that. But I guess these players just don't care if they get a bunch of deads anyways. But you see some of the trades here. They look a little bit more favorable earlier on. I think the trades were kind of evened here. just because, it still was a swarm against a pretty strong base, but it wasn't like, the weaker players. This was like Haley, Bay. These are definitely some of the stronger players kind of taking hits here. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, the thing is, I make the point to say, like, I don't understand why someone would swarm like 100 mil plus player, but you know what? I'm that type of guy who will say that, and I do hold by that. I think I'm kind of stupid at times for actually indulging in that. That's why I try to be very cautious about what bigger players I swarm. Maybe depending on their heroes, right? Like I would swarm some people if, like, for example, here we have Lee and Jaden. This is much more doable. I wouldn't want to run a rally to actually alert the other guys. But even then, it's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? I mean, I am trying to chase points for top commanders, so this is more reasonable. I was trying to actually make room for Thomas here. If you're wondering why I recalled, Thomas is, much stronger, and I feel like his trades would have been better. So I just decided to back off, recall my marches, and, throw them back if you're wondering why I kind of recalled my marches mid-swarm there. But yeah, we're going to port down and swarm another guy in a second. He also had Peter and Hank, but he was also a pretty beefy boy. This is this is the only exception I take when swarming people. And, there is one other exception. If they're like, if they're decent sized and I have like someone like Nam or I don't know, Samuel swarming them, and I see that, I'm not going to, the thing is, I know the trades me better if someone else is swarming, even if I'm sacrificing some of my troops to better like Samuel or Nam's trades. That does kind of feel worth it to me, but at the same time, they are whales. So, I mean, I guess you can say they can fork over the cost, but you guys get the point, right? Like, if there are two people swarming the base, it's obviously going to perform much better than one person. Like, if I'm sending one march, it's obviously going to do worse than two marches. It's why I'm usually more willing to kind of help, but I don't like swarming someone this size without, kind of 2-in-1 action. I wouldn't like going for a solo swarm, but yeah. All right, we have Gold October getting swarmed here. This is actually LeBron on an alt. I feel like LeBron has, I feel like it's at least 6 100 mil alt accounts, and you'll actually see us swarm and rally them later on. I don't know why we do that, but I guess, we're just kill hungry and we're crazy like that. You have one dude from RPG sending a rally. He's kind of crazy. He sent it like he has like a few alts that he sent in the rally, and he just soloed me. And I don't know, that took some balls, but thank you to that guy, I guess, for throwing a rally at my base. Oh yeah, and this is Piglet getting their base swarmed. I didn't actually see this. I didn't see any of the action between HMB and us because, like I said, I wasn't very active during this event. I was kind of in and out. But I did, get some reports here, as you see. It wasn't like a lot. I feel like they just swarmed the field for a bit, invaded our region, swarmed a few bases, and then they just dipped after that. It wasn't like a big deal. I actually had an account open, just AFKing. I wasn't even paying attention that much, and nobody even went to hit me. Like maybe they understand at this point. I'm just baiting for kills, and I gotta act more vulnerable. I gotta like run around, strip naked and run around and just be like, help. Oh, you know what? I'm going to shut up. I sound so stupid. But yeah, you guys get my point, right? I feel like people understand more that I'm trying to bait these hits. I'm trying to take these swarms, and they're less willing to hit me, but I'm going to prevail. I'm going to keep trying. Yeah, and these are more of LeBron's alt accounts here. We're taking swarms. I think LeBron just leaves them unshielded because he knows they can kind of handle themselves and do just fine. But, honestly, trading against them is really hard. I can't wait until my alt accounts actually get to this level. And I'm sorry, my chair is like squeaking a lot. I can't wait until I get to this level to having all my accounts of this, and then they all have like T6 or something. Like I have a few accounts getting close to T6. So at this rate, I feel like I might have 10 or so within like the next, I would say at least 2-3 months that will maybe get T6, right? And then I'll have like a ton of at least infantry T6 accounts with that. That'll be solid, really good for filling stuff. And I can't wait until I finally have that, because I've been grinding. I've been waiting for this for quite a long time, guys. Okay, I have most of these alts running about 2 years now because I'm not normal. All right. And I mean, they, the thing is, I treat them really well, like my main, and that's why they've grown so well, I feel like. But I don't know, man. Growing freaking alts is not easy, especially if you try to do radar a lot. Like lately, I just not been doing my radars. I just been gathering. I used to do radar for every single account every day, 2 times a day, because, it respawns every 12 hours. That was something else. That was something else, freaking time consuming and exhausting. Maybe I'll still do it occasionally, but it is definitely difficult. The thing is, I don't like missing out on it. Since it's really good for improving your heroes when you kind of consider how many golden stars you might get over a longer period of time, as long as you're consistently doing it, and I did it for the grind. I did it for the grind because I knew it would pay off. And I feel like it has paid off overall. And I'm talking about random stuff at this point, but I hope you guys have been entertained. This video should be coming to an end at this rate. There isn't a lot left in this video, it's just only like a minute, and half of that is probably an intro. And these are just gonna be some swarms at the end here. I do appreciate you guys, honestly. You guys, it has been a pleasure doing this video. I really feel great. Okay, so I hope you guys have a good day or night, and I will see you guys in the next one. And that is it. And yeah, I'll see you guys. Peace.